living in Canada is possible, but living comfortably, that is something that you need to plan. Good morning or good evening, everyone. Saan parte ka man ng mundo? My name is Pau, and I'm currently residing here in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And today, pag-uusapan natin yung real cost of living in Canada in 2026. So, I'll be sharing my monthly expenses. This is no flex, just real numbers. So, if you're someone na kinukonsider pa rin na pumunta dito sa Canada, and then pangarap niyo pa rin siya, this video is for you. So, alam natin kung gaano kahirap ngayon yung immigration dito, kung gaano kahirap makapunta dito. Alam ko marami pa rin nangangarap at gusto na makapunta dito. So yeah, so let's start to break down my monthly expenses. So let's start with rent. So currently we're paying $1,550 for our monthly rent dito sa bahay. By the way guys, I'm living in a townhouse. I am sharing with my sister and her family. So it consists of 4 bedrooms. So ang binabayaran namin dito total is 3,750. But I and my partner, we're only sharing. That's why we're only paying $1,550 monthly. So it's reasonable price compared to other neighborhood here in Victoria. But if you're planning to move to somewhere in Vancouver or Toronto, somewhere in bigger cities, mas malaki talaga yung renta dyan. Like for example, in Toronto or Vancouver, nag-range siya ng tipong 1,700 or 1,800 for one bedroom. Now, if you're coming with a family with kids, so mas kailangan nyo ng mas malaki, mas mahal talaga siya. So, next na expenses natin is yung internet. So, syempre kailangan natin ng internet sa bahay. Hindi naman lahat, pero sa katulad ko, minsan kasi nag-work from home ako, kaya kailangan ko ng internet. So, we're paying $70 monthly. I know it's expensive compared to other countries, pero let's admit it, Canada is one of the most expensive when it comes to internet talaga. So, it is what it is. And then, next one is yung electricity. So, here in British Columbia, we call it BC Hydro. So, siya yung parang Meralco sa atin sa Pilipinas. So, we're paying $300 to $400, especially in winter season. I know, mahal talaga siya. By the way, yung $300 to $400 na yan, every 2 months yan. Napansin ko dito, mas malaki yung kuryente nyo pag bahay kayo compare sa naka-apartment ka or condo. Kasi nung nasa apartment kami, mababa lang yung hydro namin o yung electricity namin. Nag-range lang siya ng 750 pag tipong summer, spring. Pero pagdating ng winter season, pinakamalaki na every 2 months namin is 100. Pero pag nasa townhouse ka o nasa bahay ka, mas malaki talaga. Expect mo na mas malaki yung electricity nyo. So, yeah, nag-range kami ng $350 to $400 pag winter season dito sa townhouse. So, yun yung binabayaran namin. And then, next one is yung mobile. So, syempre, kailangan natin ng data pag nasa labas tayo. And, syempre, kailangan mo rin ng phone. So, nasa inyo yon, pero kami kasi, ang pinili namin is cellphone with data. So, nag-range siya ng $130 monthly. Then, dalawa kami ng partner ko. So, we're paying $260 for our phones and mobile data. Pero, advice ko lang sa inyo, kung matino pa yung cellphone nyo at hindi nyo naman kailangan ng bago, wag na kayong bumili ng bagong, wag nyo nang isama yung phone nyo. Ang kunin nyo na lang, yung data lang talaga, yung pang call and text, and minimal amount of MB or gigabyte sa data. Mga $30 to $40 lang yan. Minsan meron pang $20 monthly. So kami nga, dahil kasama yung phone tsaka yung data, so we're paying $130 monthly for each of us. So dalawa kami ng partner ko, so we're paying $260. So next is yung food. So sa food naman, siyempre alam naman nating lahat na talagang kahit saang parte ka ng mundo, talagang tumaas na yung bilihin, especially sa mga groceries. So we're budgeting 400 to 600. So let's meet in the middle. Let's say $500 yung monthly namin para sa groceries. Aside from food, yung transpo. So since ako, I'm so grateful na nasa government ako nagkatrabaho, kaya kasama sa benefits namin yung transpo namin, kaya we're paying less. So I'm only paying $26 monthly para doon sa bus ko. So anywhere in Victoria, pwede na ako makapunta kahit saan using my transpo card na galing nga sa trabaho ko, benefits ko yun, only $26. Pero kung magabas ka everyday tapos gusto mong kunin yung buong monthly expenses na yon for the top card, it will cost you like $80 or 85, I'm not sure, mga ganong range siya, buwan-buwan yon. And then, yeah, so since ako, $26 lang yung monthly ko sa transpo ko, yung partner ko kasi, meron kaming car loan. So, ito na naman yung mabigat, yung car loan. Alam mo yun yung hindi namin napag-isipan noon. Naging aggressive kami na gusto namin makakuha ng sasakyan kagad. So, let's say mga 1 year and a half naman kami bago kami kumuha ng sasakyan. So, syempre wala naman kaming pang-cash. So, nag-loan kami. So, ang binabayaran namin sa sasakyan is $359 bi-weekly. Ibig sabihin nun, every 2 weeks, nagbayad kami ng $359. And for a month, it will range from $718 for the car loan alone. So, syempre may insurance pa, meron pang gas. So let's say nasa $1,000 a month yung para sa car loan namin, and then transpo, and then insurance and gas. So malaki siya. So tip ko, kung bago pa lang kayo dito, wag na muna talaga kayong kumuha ng sasakyan, especially if you're moving to a bigger city and maganda naman yung transportation. I don't think na tipong kailangan nyo ng sasakyan at that very moment. So let's say try nyo muna mag-establish, or might as well, if you have the budget, bili na lang kayo ng second hand na sasakyan. Talagang mahirap talaga yung may car loan. I know it's convenient, pero it's a commitment. So let's say and then other one is yung other expenses. Like for example, yung mga tipong may bibilhin kayo, syempre pag nasa labas ka, may time na tipong makikita ka na gusto mo pala, pero once lang naman. Like ako, budget ko dyan, let's say $200 to $300 monthly, as much as possible. So ayun, so kung hindi nyo naman talaga kailangan, wag nyong bilhin. Alam nyo, quality of life sa Canada maganda, but the thing is, living in Canada is possible, but living comfortably, that is something that you need to plan. So, ayun, maraming nagkasabi sa atin na tipong ang mahal ng cost of living sa Canada, ang mahal-mahal diyan, nabubuhay pa ba kayo diyan? Yes, totoo po, sobrang mahal, and nabubuhay, kaya naman, pero talagang nasa inyo. And alam ko, marami sa ating mga kababayan na nandito sa Canada, nababaon talaga sa utang. Alam mo yun, nag-work ng ilang oras, may mga double job, dahil lang para sa mga utang, and then may sinusuportahan ka pa sa Pilipinas, sobra talagang hirap. So, kailangan yung i-consider yan. So, yun, ang total expenses ko pala dito is $3,748. Yun yung monthly expenses namin dito sa Victoria, British Columbia. So let's say sarado na nating 4,000. And then sumasahod kami dito. Let's say ang net namin ng partner ko is nasa 5,500. May natitira pa ba? Yes, meron pa naman kahit paano. Pero again, nasa pagka-budget nga talaga yan. Pero kung hindi ka talaga marunong mag-budget, talagang mababaon ka talaga sa utang. Kasi yung credit card dito, kaliwat kanan. kaskas dito, kaskas doon, swipe doon. So talagang pwede ka talagang mabaon sa utang. Well, hindi sa pagmamalinis, may mga utang kami na hanggang ngayon pa rin binabayaran. So, kung plano niyong pumunta dito sa Canada, you need to plan ahead of time. And then, hindi talaga siya biro na gusto niyo lang. No, it's not. Especially for those families na gustong pumunta dito, kailangan niyong pag-isipan. Yes, again, uulitin ko, living in Canada is possible, but living comfortably, that is something that you need to plan ahead. Para sa mga nandito sa Canada, I just wanna hear your thoughts kung magkano ba yung expenses na binabayaran nyo monthly, masyado bang mahal talaga ang Victoria, British Columbia. I know, somewhere in Vancouver or Toronto, talagang mas mataas yung cost of living dyan. So yeah, and then other cities rin naman in Canada, like for example, if you're living in rural places, siguro mas mura. Pero nga, the catch is yung weather. So we're lucky enough kasi nga dito sa Victoria is talagang maganda yung weather dito. Hindi talaga ganun ka tindi yung lamig, walang snow, pero yung catch talagang mahal mabuhay dito. Now, I think yung key takeaway dito is,
Again, living in Canada is possible, pero living comfortably takes discipline. Hindi puro opportunity, may responsibility din. Know your expenses, control your lifestyle, and plan your life, not just your move. Again, thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye!